Oscar De La Hoya's Canelo numbers claim proven wrong within a day of him releasing the tweet. And we're going to talk about that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Let's get it. Now, I made a video about this topic, but I want to make a follow-up video. Oscar De La Hoya, he posted some tweets, and I told you they were inaccurate. Basically, he's trying to peddle fear, and he's looking at whatever numbers, really taking a shot at PBC mostly, saying the numbers for boxing have dwindled down and went down, and Canelo is the savior to this. He says, if anyone doubted how badly boxing needs Canelo, the sport's biggest star back in the ring, look no further than the terrible ratings from boxing on network TV the last few weeks, right? He goes on to say, it's an effing embarrassment that sports-starved fans are flocking to baseball and the UFC and largely ignoring the greatest sport in the world. I've been working tirelessly day and night with our partners at DAZN to get Canelo's fight done ASAP and get our sport back on track. So for whatever reason, De La Hoya feels he has the power and him and Canelo are the savior. But Canelo fights on an app. He fights on an application. So unless everybody has that app, which we know they don't, then how is Canelo fighting on an app which you took him to instead of going to Showtime or ESPN with Canelo because you seen a money grab and something new? You know, it's like a shiny object, a little kid seeing a shiny object, and you took him over there instead of burying the hatchet with Al Heyman or whatever. And PBC, the reason why the PBC Canelo thing would have been monumental is because they still have pay-per-view, unlike DAZN, and they have two networks, Showtime or Fox. Can you imagine if Canelo had his lesser fight, like let's say Rocky Fielding, on network television? You know, that would be big, because even though it's not a desired fight, let's say Canelo versus Avni Yildirim, it's not a huge fight, but on free TV, you know, you couldn't really complain. It would do numbers at that point. But to charge $20 a month for Canelo Yildirim, it's a whole different conversation. But De La Hoya has already been proven wrong by me and also these numbers. Shout out to Brooklyn Brawler. It says on Saturday night, PBC generated a total audience of 2.5 million viewers, which is 25% better than the UFC's fight night. PBC's peak audience in the main event at 1.141 was 19% better. And I think it was actually 1.2 something. Was 19% better than UFC's peak during its main event, excluding UFC's initial tune-in, which was NBA driven. So on top of having to compete with the NBA and stuff, PBC generated greater numbers by, 19 to 25% from the UFC competing card that same night, right? And this man just told you people are flocking to baseball and the UFC, and, the numbers are terrible. So men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The other thing that I've already went over for you guys is with this pandemic, everybody's ratings have been affected. Why are the NBA ratings going down? NBA continues rating struggle in first weekend of playoffs. People's viewing patterns and habits have immensely changed with this whole Rona, and I went over this and I talked about this. So again, De La Hoya is attempting to peddle fear, and he's using old media tactics. This is how he's trying to re-interject Canelo's name back into the picture, because truth be told, Canelo's whole profile has dwindled down since he's joined DAZN. So he's trying to make Canelo relevant again. But it doesn't help when you have your promoter lying about a comeback. And I'm saying lying, because if you're going to come back, then why? He said this multiple times. And it doesn't help when you have Ryan Garcia's fight not situated. We don't know when Virgil Ortiz is back. And we don't know when Canelo, the face of boxing, is back. But you're sitting up here telling everyone that you're going to make a comeback. Just like De La Hoya, he's making it about him. It's just like Trump or something, making it all about him. The conversation should be about your fighters. De La Hoya's had his time. Look, De La Hoya, to come back. I could do some damage at 154, the comeback. Why? You're taking away. People need to find out about Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell needs to be announced. Canelo's next fight needs to be announced. And you're sitting up here talking about you coming back, you know? And I think it's cap. Until he has a signed official fighting date, I'm not worried about that. You know, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But not no charity fight or exhibition. He's talking about he could do damage at 54. Fight Charlo. Fight Charlo then, since you could do fight Charlo Rosario winner, since you could do damage at 54. You know what I mean? He's 47 years old. He's trying to make the spotlight about him, and he's trying to. There's negative reviews of Golden Boy right now, and Canelo trying to cherry pick David Benavidez's belt because he lost it on the scale, things like that. So he's trying to shift the narrative and get people distracted, like, oh, hey, I'm coming back. But these old tactics don't work. He's trying to, you know, be a fear monger and let people like feel that boxing is going somewhere. But I just showed you, everybody's ratings are down. PBC is doing great numbers. Like, for considering the fight, like, these are unknown. Jamal James and Thomas Delorme, Sean Porter and Formea. A lot of guys don't know those names. Those are even the hardcore fans. They don't necessarily know those people, and they still pushing 1 million. Meanwhile, what De La Hoya is not telling you is that Canelo is fighting on an app. People are forgetting about him, not knowing when he's fighting, getting sick of the rehydration clauses, sick of him not fighting the competition he needs to fight. The numbers never come back. So De La Hoya and Team Canelo and DAZN are hiding. They're hiding in the house. Since you have so much to say about terrible numbers, why won't you release Canelo's numbers? What did Canelo Fielding do? You know, how many paid subscribers bought Canelo Jacobs? Don't say concurrent and across 9 markets or at least 600,000 K. Tell us exactly how many he did. See, it's easy to throw stones, but you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house, and if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth, right? So it's easy for DAZN and Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya to be losing the battle and constantly trying to redirect the energy. Eddie Hearn, and it's a lot with DAZN. Eddie Hearn keep talking about Showtime and PBC and their calendar, but why don't you talk about Fight Camp? What type of ratings those are doing? You're talking about Frank Warren's ratings and sending out the information to media so they could post it and publish it. De La Hoya is talking about PBC. Everybody should worry about themselves. And right now, Canelo is in danger. DAZN is trying to take his money. He has a contract, and ESPN has already reported they're trying to give him a pay cut. So they're at a standoff. We don't know when he's coming back. Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell has not been officially announced. It has been over a month and a half. But yet and still, De La Hoya is doing these desperation Hail Mary attempts and pleas to take that negative energy. Senicia Estrada, another Golden Boy fighter, she was ostracized for the matchmaking, or her fight was ostracized. Not necessarily her, but Golden Boy was ostracized for the matchmaking. Jorge Linares, Javier Fortuna fell apart. When is that back on, right? When is Rashidi Ellis fighting? He was supposed to fight on that card. So they have a lot of issues. When is Patrick Teixeira? Who's he fighting? He's a champion, right? Golden Boy's not telling you none of this, but they're saying they're trying to scare you into feeling that boxing numbers are down just with boxing. They're down across the board. Again, people's viewing patterns have changed, their habits. Some people work from home, so they're not on a schedule. They wake up later than they used to have to wake up earlier, things like that. But Canelo is not the savior to this because he doesn't even fight on networks. You know, Fox has 114 million homes, and ESPN has 90 million homes. So they have streaming apps as well. So there's multiple ways to get that. For Canelo, we know they don't have that many built-in subscribers, especially with this pandemic. So once again, Oscar De La Hoya has been proven to be false on here, and he's tried to put Canelo's name back in the mix and make people feel that he's still the face of boxing, and you know, boxing doesn't operate the same without him. But he's also choosing the introductory fights from PBC, where they're not the big, you know, Sebastian Formea and Porter. That's not a big fight. We know that. You know, it's just Sean Porter deserves a tune-up because he's taking a tough schedule. Erislandy Lara versus Vendetti, you know, that's not a huge fight. But these fights are still doing $1 million. Name the DAZN fights that are doing $1 million each time out, right? And wait till we get to the bigger fights. Gervonta Davis, Charlo. August is historically a slower month for boxing. So again, it's a desperate play from Oscar De La Hoya, and he's talking about everyone's numbers, just like everybody on DAZN and DAZN fans and Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. But they won't tell you what numbers Canelo's doing. You know, tell us that. Tell us how much Canelo Kovalev did, because they had to wait for Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz to even try to have a chance to get some numbers. You know what I mean? And that was a bad look. So there's more sides to this story. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. I would like to see Golden Boy focus on Golden Boy and their own numbers and getting their own fighters on track. You have your two biggest stars right here, and neither one of them have a fight, right? Period. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Come and watch my fight." Floyd Mayweather, "Easy work. I'm rich." And Manny Pacquiao, "Yes, it's up to my promoter. Just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.